There comes a time in every life when doubt begins to whisper louder than hope. When you look at yourself in the mirror and see not the person you could become, but the one you have forgotten how to be. When every failure, every mistake, every disappointment piles upon your heart until you begin to believe that maybe you are not enough. But that is not the truth. The truth is that somewhere beneath the weight of everything you have been through, there's still lives. The version of you that believed in possibility, the version that dreamed, the version that tried, the version that never gave up. Believe in yourself again, because you are still that person you are, still capable of more than you realize. You are still stronger than you think. You are still worthy, even when you do not. Feel it, you are not broken, you are becoming. The world has a way of making you forget your own power. It teaches you to compare to. Question 2, shrink yourself to fit into. Space is too small for your spirit, but you were not meant to live half alive. You were not meant to silence your own light. You were meant to stand tall, to speak your truth, to create, to love, to become. Believing in yourself again begins not with perfection, but with permission to start over, permission to fail, permission to grow, permission to be imperfectly human. You do not have to have everything figured out to begin again. You just have to begin. Every time life knocked you down, you stood up again, maybe slower, maybe quieter, but you stood, and that is proof of strength, that is resilience, that is belief, even when you thought you had none. Because the fact that you are still here means that something deep inside you refused to give up, refused to let the story end before it was meant to. You have survived things that once seemed impossible. You have faced storms that could have broken you, but you learned how to bend instead of break you, learned how to heal instead of hide you, learned that even in darkness there is still light, and that light is you. Believe in yourself again, because the same fire that carried you through the hardest nights still burns within you. It never left. It only waited for you to notice it again. Sometimes life breaks you not to destroy you, but to reveal you, to strip away what was never truly yours, so that you can see yourself clearly again. Sometimes you lose everything you thought you needed, only to discover what you actually are capable of without it. You are enough, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are. Your worth is not something you earn, it is something you already have. You were born with value, and no failure, no loss, no rejection can take that from you. There will always be voices that tell you you cannot, but there is also a quieter voice inside that says you can. Listen to that voice. It is the truth, the one that knows. You, the one that remembers the dreams. You buried the one that still believes. Do not let the opinions of others define what you are capable of. No one else has lived your life. No one else has carried your pain. No one else has walked your path. Only you. Know the battles you have fought in silence. Only you. Know the strength it took to keep going. Believing in yourself again means trusting that your journey has key meaning. Even when it feels uncertain, it means understanding that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. It means realizing that every setback is a setup for growth, that every delay is a lesson in patience, that every ending is the beginning of something new. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are right on time for the life you are meant to live. Everything that has happened has prepared you for this moment, for this awakening, for this choice to believe again. Believe that you can heal. Believe that you can rise. Believe that you can still create something beautiful from what remains. Because you can. You always can. The world does not need a perfect version of you. It needs the real one, the one who has fallen and risen, the one who has been afraid and still chosen courage, the one who has been lost and still kept searching. That is the you that changes lives. That is the you that inspires others. Every great comeback begins with a single decision. The decision to try again, the decision to trust again, the decision to believe again. You do not need to see the whole path. You just need to take the first step and let faith carry you the rest of the way. You will stumble and you will doubt yourself again. That is part of being human, but every time you rise, you will rise higher, because you will. Begin to understand that belief is not something you find once, it is something you practice daily. Tell yourself, I can, even when you are unsure. Tell yourself, I am enough. Even when you feel broken, tell yourself, I am capable, even when the world says you are not, because your mind believes what you repeat, and every thought is a seed. Plant belief, water it with persistence, and watch how your life begins to grow again. Believe in yourself again, not because everything is easy, but because you deserve to see what happens when you refuse to give up on yourself. The most powerful thing you can ever do is to believe when there is no reason to, because that is where miracles are born. You do not need validation to believe in yourself again. Your worth does not depend on who stays or who leaves or who notices you. Your worth is constant, unshakable. It lives within. One can give it and no one can take it away. The pain you have felt, the struggles you have faced, the tears you have cried, they were not wasted. They built you, they strengthened you, they awakened parts of you that peace never could, and now you carry wisdom you could never have learned any other way. Believe in yourself again, because you are still growing, still learning, still evolving. You are not the person you were yesterday. You are the person you are becoming today, and that person deserves your faith. Every sunrise is a second chance. Every breath a reminder that you still have purpose. You do not need to start over completely. You just need to start believing that you can. You have done hard things before. You have survived long nights before. You have found light before. You can do it again, and this time you will do it with greater clarity, greater courage, greater love for yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. Start being the one who does. Start being the one who looks in the mirror and says, I am proud of how far I have come. I am still standing, I am still trying, and that is enough. Do not underestimate the power of belief. Belief changes the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you see the world. When you believe in yourself again, you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. Even if no one else understands your journey, keep going. Even if no one claps for you, keep building. Even if no one sees your progress, keep believing, because everything you are doing matters. Every step, every choice, every moment you choose faith over fear is rewriting your story. Believe in yourself again, because there are still dreams waiting inside you, dreams that never died. They only slept, waiting for the moment you would remember who you are. You are capable of creating a life that feels aligned, peaceful, and full of purpose. But it begins with you. It begins with the way you speak to yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you choose to see yourself. You cannot build a beautiful life while doubting your own worth. Be gentle with yourself. It is okay to start small. It is okay to rebuild slowly. It is okay to take time to remember who you are. You are not behind. You are healing. You are becoming. You are finding your way back home to yourself. There will come a day when you look back at this moment and realize that this was the turning point. This was the moment you decided to believe again. This was the moment everything began to change, not because the world around you changed, but because you did. So breathe. Take another step and whisper to yourself, I can. I will. I am enough. Believe in yourself again, because your story is not over. It is just beginning, and the best chapters are still waiting to be written.